Hey, I just want to make a quick intro for this video. Explaining what's going on here. I had a oil leak somewhere. Turns out it was my valve cover gasket on the passenger side. It was leaking, and I ended up finding out that it was just the bolts weren't tight, torqued down all the way. The car has 55,000 miles on it. I'm pretty sure that hasn't been done yet. So, yeah, I'm getting ready to put the supercharger kit on here, and I was going to replace the whole valve cover gasket setup with these Fel Pro ones I got here, but I think I'm just going to wait because I'm going to do valve cover gaskets, all the timing gaskets and stuff. I'm going to do the oil pump gears and crank sprocket. I'm going to do all that when I put the supercharger kit on, which is, I also have that right here too. So that's the head unit anyway, but the rest of it's still in the box. So yeah, hopefully this video helps you out. So first of all, I am not sure if it is the valve cover gasket even. I know it's coming from this side of the valve cover. I already cleaned up all the oil and stuff, so there's no point in even trying to show you. But what I did find is that I figured I would test the torque on all the bolts for the valve cover, and none of them were torqued down to spec. There was a couple up here. There was like this one, and I think this one was tight enough, but the rest were pretty loose. So I don't know if over time that they had come loose. I heard other people talk about that too. So I figured I would just make this video before I start tearing into it and just, mention that, that I had all the bolts were loose and I had to tighten them. And it was coming from back here too. So I don't know if anybody else is going through that, but I'm pretty sure that it's happening on my car because I don't have, I have a catch can, but I think that I need to get, I took my cats off the other day, and I think I need to get a one-way breather for this, for the oil cap, because I do have a supercharger kit that I'm going to be putting on here. It's a Roush Stage 2. So I was kind of like looking into that already, and what they were describing was that when your exhaust starts to backfire, it puts a lot of pressure back into the motor. So I get a shitload of backfires with my Catalyst X pipe. So anyway, I figured I'd show you what's going on. So in the manual, the torque specs for the valve cover bolts are 89 inch-pounds in sequence. So just remember that, and then I'll show you this, and you can screenshot that stuff if you want about the removal. It says in here that you have to relieve the fuel pressure, but when I was looking at it, I didn't really see any reason to do that besides maybe that this fuel line's in the way. But if you want to fight that and not have to let the fuel pressure off, I don't really see a problem if you're just careful. You do have to take your air box out though. Probably take the dipstick out. It said also to disconnect the injector plugs, but I don't really see the point of that either. When you pull your harness off of the fasteners here, I would just use a plastic pry bar or trim tool, and what I did over here, I just tied mine up to my intake bolt here just to keep it out of the way for you. But yeah, I think that would be a pretty easy job. I think I'm still going to do it, but I'm going to run this without that gasket on there and just see if that was the case or not. I'm going to run it for a little bit. Here is this information I'll show you in order here. So here's this page. You can screenshot that. Okay, I have all the 5.0 stuff highlighted. Here's the next page. Don't even worry about this right here. This is for the 4.6. So there's that. And another thing you want to make sure you do The only reason, honestly, the only reason I'm not doing this tonight is because my RTV sealant was all dried up and shit, so I I couldn't do it even if I wanted to. I think you'd probably want to use the ultra gray, but maybe even the red, but ultra gray is what I was going to use. So there's that, and then here's the sequences right here. And then here's another thing. Actually, don't disregard that. That's for the intake manifold. So here's your sequences right there. Passenger side, which is the right side. They call it the right side of the manual. And the left side's the driver's side, obviously. So there's that for you. And here are the gaskets. I think these are the plug gaskets. Probably the phaser seal, or the phaser plug grommets, which would be these right here. These, yeah, 4 of them. So that's kind of what it looks like to me. And then I think that these are the bolt grommets, so it'd be kind of nice if you... This is a Felpro gasket. Here's the part number. I got this at O'Reilly's. They wanted like 120 for it, but AutoZone had it for cheaper, and they price matched it for me. So, and here's the gasket. According to Felpro, on these spots right here at these tabs, that's kind of where you want to add the RTV sealant. And then also, I want to say up here on top of the head that joins the timing cover, like right here on this spot of the, obviously where your gasket is, but I don't know if you can see this right here. This is what I'm pointing to. So yeah, anything that's kind of uneven and stuff, that's where you want to put your RTV sealant. So I'll either leave a comment, or maybe I'll just make another video or something updating what I find with my, after driving this thing with just retightening the valve cover bolts. But I definitely really believe that I should have a breather right here. I know that people say you don't need it, just NA, but I think maybe with the exhaust and everything, I think it might be putting a lot of pressure in here, because I mean, I have like random grease and stuff popping up, and it was leaking really bad back there, and it just started after I took those cats off. So I think that that's kind of what's going on. It would make sense to me, but I don't know. But yeah, so hopefully this helps.